figure from Avengers Infinity War. This is a really impressive figure, especially for $25. We have a really awesome paint scheme, great articulation, the spider arms coming out of his back is really cool, and it's really just worth the price. And if you're a Spider-Man fan, it's definitely a must-have. It's a really nice key piece, a part of a 7-inch scale collection. So that's just a brief overview here. You can see he has a really nice amount of movement, and the first impression on the paint application is really nice. I mean, this shiny effect that they got is better than what the Marvel Legends has achieved for the same price. And personally, I'm a bigger fan of the Marvel Select line than the Marvel Legends. I think it just has a bit more realistic touch to it, and I'm a bigger fan of 7-inch scale figures than 6-inch. But nevertheless, this is about this figure, this video here, and let's dive into this review. Okay, so here he is. There's a nice clean sculpt here. The blue in his suit is a more of a flat metallic, whereas the red is a, I guess, more glossy hot rod red, which I think looks really nice. Now the paint isn't perfect. You can see in the chest here, at least in my figure, the blue isn't lining up with the sculpt in the spider. It's like off just a touch. Other areas it's much more clean. You can see the gold versus the blue and the red here. That's all pretty clean. The back spider is more clean than the front. The head is nice and clean as well. And the black of the eyes versus the white looks really good. Now I will point out one thing that just occurred to me is that I was fortunate enough to go to a comic shop and get this in person and compare different models, and there were some versions of the same figure that had the red metallic that wasn't as glossy as this. So this was definitely the best of the bunch that I saw. So that's the one that I got. So you can see that the shine on the head is really nice. It's almost more so than on the body. But there are other figures out there that do not have the shine to this effect, and it kind of has a totally different finish on the figure. So if you have the ability to get this in person, I definitely recommend it, because you're definitely going to want that shine. And another thing worth pointing out is that this figure is actually more based on the Spider-Man PS4 game that was just released, because in the movie his arms aren't red like this. It's more of a gold paint application, and in the figure here the arms are metallic red just like his suit, and that's how the suit was in the video game as the unlockable suit power. So it's interesting that they used the video game as reference as opposed to the movie for the arms. Also, what I'm seeing here is a little nick in the paint right there. You see it right there? It's very minor, but it does stick out. So, but the figure does feel, very strong and sturdy, which I like about Marvel Select, and the paint doesn't feel tacky or sticky or anything like that. And sorry for that rattling noise, it's the glass display case. But yeah, he's a great looking figure. Okay, articulation time. Let's move these arms out of the way here. Try to get as much as we can of him. But you can just see how big this figure can be with those arms really spread out. Okay, so the head is on a ball joint and can move down and up rather far. The arms can go out and in, as well as fully rotate. We can rotate at the upper bicep here. We have a double jointed elbow to get that nice movement. This silver wrist piece here is a separate piece. You can see me moving it here. So it helps with the movement of the hand, which can go down and up as well as rotate. We have a ball joint at the ab here. We can move forward at the waist as well as back at the waist and rotate, but it's pretty tight. So it's great that we have this movement at the ab and then lower at the waist, so we get a really nice bend here. Legs can go out and in. We can rotate at the thigh, double jointed knee, which is nice. Ankles can go up and down, as well as angle left and right here for those really extreme poses. And for the arms, these are pretty fragile, so I just want to be careful. Meaning the plastic's thin, I don't want to break anything. So we can rotate at each joint here, move up and down as well as go left and right, but it's really tight. So every little articulated joint here can move about like that. And we can rotate at the base here, but it's also really tight. So some of them can move better than the others. They probably need some heating up, and I just don't want to risk breaking the figure. Plus, I'm definitely going to keep the display here. But we can remove the arms. I was able to work with one, which I'll just do here. That's how it looks. The other ones, I really don't want to break them, so I'll do that off camera. Okay, so accessory time. I was able to remove each of his spider arms on the back. I just used the blow dryer to heat it up to be super safe and pop them off. So obviously there are 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And to go over the articulation again, they just bend at each joint here, clawing in. So, well, like I said, interestingly enough, they based it on the PS4 game, and this is what it should be. This is the Hot Toys claw, which is obviously much bigger, which is completely gold and blue, and this one has the red, gold, and blue. And then besides that, we have bunch of hands. We have open palm here, closed fist, Spidey, web shooter hand. So we have 2 fists, 2 gripping hands. I don't know what they would grip per se, but I guess it's good to have them. And then 2 open palm hands. The others are attached to the actual figure right now. Here's a comparison to the other Spider-Man that came out from Homecoming, the regular suit there. And if you want a comparison to the Hot Toys head, which has a really obviously higher caliber paint job, but it's pretty similar to the Marvel Select one that we have here. So that's great. I mean, it's a great figure. You have the other companies that are charging almost $100 for this guy in a 6-inch scale form. Obviously, it's a bit higher quality plastic and things like that, but for $25, you have one of the best looking representations of the Iron Spider from Infinity War. So in an overview, this figure is awesome. For the price, for the detail, for the shelf presence that it has, it is just really, really cool. So you guys should definitely check it out. Pick it up if you're a Spidey fan and Infinity War fan, because it's only 25 bucks and you can't beat that for a figure this cool. So others in the line coming are Captain America, Thor, and Groot. They're coming out in this same line, so it's going to be cool to assemble those guys together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.